Have you ever wondered what really happened to Amy Lee, the powerhouse behind Evanescence? From shocking band shakeups to personal tragedies and triumphs, and the joys and challenges of family life, we'll uncover the hidden stories behind the headlines. To fully understand the story of the woman behind the voice, let's start from the very beginning. Band tensions and internal conflicts. Born Amy Lynn Hartzler on December 13, 1981, in Riverside, California, Amy Lee's life was destined to be extraordinary. Raised by a DJ father and a mother who nurtured her creativity, Amy's childhood was filled with music and artistic expression, and it's this upbringing that's going to set her up to be at the helm of one of the greatest rock bands that the world will ever know. In the early 2000s, a new force in rock music emerged with Evanescence, led by the haunting voice of Amy Lee. Their debut album, Fallen, released in 2003, took the music world by storm, blending gothic rock with ethereal melodies. With mesmerizing vocals and powerful guitar riffs, Fallen quickly became a massive hit, earning diamond certification and dominating the charts. The journey of Evanescence began in the mid-1990s when Amy Lee and Ben Moody met at a youth camp in Little Rock, Arkansas. Their shared passion for music led to the formation of the band, with Lee's classical piano skills and Moody's hard-hitting guitar creating a unique sound. They started performing locally, showcasing their raw talent and catching the attention of Wind Up Records, who signed them in 2001. The creation of Fallen was both a labor of love and a period of intense pressure. Recorded from August to December 2002, the album featured refined versions of their earlier songs, blending new metal, gothic metal, and alternative rock. The lineup at the time included Lee, Moody, and keyboardist David Hodges, who worked tirelessly in California studios. In 2002, the group spent all of their time in the studio crafting what would become one of their most iconic songs, Bring Me to Life. Amy Lee, the band's co-founder and lead vocalist, was at the heart of this creation, her haunting piano melodies and delicate voice giving life to the song. It was a deeply personal piece, reflecting her need for inner revival. This song was going to be part of their album, Fallen. Whilst the album was initially marketed in the Christian rock scene, the band rejected this label, insisting their music transcended any single genre or belief system. This decision led to the recall of Fallen from Christian retailers, but it ultimately positioned the album for broader success. Mixed and mastered by Ted Jensen at Sterling Sound in New York City, Fallen was ready to make an impact. Released on March 4, 2003, Fallen quickly climbed the charts, debuting at number 7 on the Billboard 200. The album's first single, Bring Me to Life, gained traction after being featured in the movie Daredevil. Fallen soon surpassed gold status, selling over 500,000 units within a month of its release, and achieved platinum status by April 21, 2003. By the end of the year, it was triple platinum. Other singles like Going Under, My Immortal, and Everybody's Fool further showcased the band's range and Amy Lee's vocal prowess. The album's success wasn't just commercial, it also received critical acclaim. Bring Me to Life won the Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance, and the band was nominated for Best New Artist. Evanescence embarked on a whirlwind of tours and live performances, captivating audiences worldwide with their electrifying shows. Fallen became a cultural phenomenon, resonating with a generation seeking authenticity and depth. Despite their swift rise, tensions within Evanescence began to surface. The pressure of fame, relentless touring, and creative differences between Lee and Moody strained their partnership. As their world tour progressed, the rift widened, leading to Moody's departure on October 22, 2003. In August 2010, Ben Moody revealed the reasons behind his departure from the band and the formation of We Are the Fallen. He stated, "I'm not someone who partakes in online communities, but after noticing the comments on We Are the Fallen's introductory single, Bury Me Alive, he felt compelled to set the record straight." Despite their shared devotion to the band, Moody noted, "We were becoming two very different people. The intense pressure of their youth and rising fame led to a volatile environment. By the time they went on tour to support Fallen, their relationship had deteriorated. Moody admitted, I was an awful person, and Amy reacted in kind." On October 22, 2003, their conflicts culminated in a major confrontation. Moody described, "If one of us didn't leave, my one chance to leave something in this world greater than myself would be lost." Amy Lee's message, "Get on a plane and never come back," made him realize the extent of their estrangement. Moody left Evanescence to ensure the band's survival, even though it meant losing his dreams and identity. He clarified, "I left so that Evanescence would continue." Despite his sacrifices, including giving up his ownership stake in the band, he faced widespread criticism and resentment from fans. Moody emphasized that his We Are the Fallen band was formed out of a love for making music, not to compete with Evanescence. He concluded, "I love Evanescence. If there were any way in the universe I could go back and do things differently, I'd pay any price." Moody's exit left a significant void in the group and also in the hearts of the fans, and Lee seemed hurt enough in an interview where she said, "You don't do that to your band. You wouldn't do that to your friends or your family. You don't do that to anyone." But Lee was determined to prove that Evanescence could survive this setback. She channeled her emotions into songwriting. The result was The Open Door, released in 2006, showcasing Lee's growth as an artist and a leader. The album's broader musical styles and complexity reflected her evolving creative vision. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, with songs like Call Me When You're Sober and Lithium resonating with fans. The band faced more lineup changes, with David Hodges leaving the group, but Lee's dedication never wavered. In 2011, Evanescence released their self-titled album, which topped the charts and earned critical acclaim. The rest of the band collaborated closely with Amy, their harmony visible as they brought the song together. However, as they prepared to release Bring Me to Life as the lead single for their debut album Fallen, their record label, Wind Up Records, intervened. The label believed the song needed a male voice to broaden its appeal and insisted on adding a rap verse by Paul McCoy of the band 12 Stones, capitalizing on the rock rap trend of the era. Amy resisted, feeling that the addition diluted her song's authenticity.
And that's where the rap and Bring Me to Life came from, because they, threatened us that they weren't gonna put our album out or do anything.
Despite her protests, the label remained firm, seeing this change as essential for the song's success. Eventually, Amy yielded, and the rap verse was included, making Bring Me to Life a duet. The song's release was met with overwhelming success, climbing charts and capturing the hearts of listeners worldwide. The powerful combination of Amy's vocals and the rap verse spread wide, propelling Evanescence into the spotlight. Yet for Amy, the song's success was bittersweet. When asked about her thoughts on the song during an interview, she said, "But that part, that sound, that's not my style. That's why it was such a difficult pill to swallow, even on one song. But we don't have to change our whole sound just because of that rap part." Years later, in 2021, Evanescence released The Bitter Truth. The band's lineup, including guitarists Jen Majura and Troy McClawhorn, bassist Tim McCord, and drummer Will Hunt, contributed to a sound that blended industrial gothic alt-rock with orchestral elements. The content of The Bitter Truth was influenced by the events of the past 5 years, including the Not Me Too movement and the COVID-19 pandemic. The single Use My Voice was a rallying cry, inspired by the words of writer and sexual assault survivor Chanel Miller. Lee used the track as a platform to amplify the voices of other female rock musicians, featuring backing vocals from Lzzy Hale of Hailstorm, Sharon Den Adele of Within Temptation, Taylor Momsen of The Pretty Reckless, Lindsey Sterling, and Dina Jakub of Veridia. In an interview with Alternative Press, Lee talked about the impact of the album.
I hope and I think that our music is a place for people who have seen some and been through some stuff, who recognize that life is precious. Sometimes we just need to live in that place together and know as humans that we're not alone in it.
Critics hailed The Bitter Truth as Evanescence's best album, praising its raw sincerity. The album solidified the band's legacy, demonstrating their ability to evolve while maintaining their distinctive sound. Early success and personal struggles. In the late 1990s, the formation of Evanescence began to take shape in the state of Arkansas. In the quiet city of Little Rock, a young Amy Lee found her voice and solace at the piano. Amy's early life was marked by frequent relocations, but the constant melody of classical music remained her anchor. Her childhood, made up of traveling around the country, saw her creativity bloom, her songwriting becoming a delicate dance of poetry and melody. The family's eventual settlement in Little Rock was significant. It was at Pulaski Academy that Amy's path crossed with Ben Moody, a guitarist whose vision complemented hers. Their meeting was an unexpected moment that ignited the spark of what would become Evanescence. Amy, then only 13, already possessed a voice that captivated, blending seamlessly with Ben's intricate guitar riffs. Together, they started recording early EPs, capturing the raw and unfiltered essence of their talent. The first EP, self-titled and released in 1998, laid the foundation for their future success. This was followed by the Sound Asleep EP, also known as the Whisper EP, in 1999. These early recordings were the seeds from which Evanescence would grow. However, the path to recognition was filled with challenges. The music industry, vast and unforgiving, required resilience to navigate, especially in an era before the viral potential of social media. media. Despite the hurdles, Amy and Ben's dedication never wavered. Amy's voice, a haunting blend of beauty and power, became the vessel for their message, delivering lyrics that spoke of personal struggle and the search for identity. The band's unique sound, a fusion of gothic undertones and rock sensibility, began to carve a niche in the local music scene. Their live performances, charged with electric energy, started to draw attention, and the whispers of Evanescence's potential grew louder. Their breakthrough came when Wind Up Records recognized their talent and offered them a record deal. This opportunity was the validation of their hard work, the first major step towards a future that Amy and Ben had only dreamed of. With the ink barely dry on the contract, Evanescence was poised to take on the world. As they say, every great success story often rises from the ashes of our deepest tragedies and moments of grief, defining our past and shaping us into resilient and remarkable individuals who triumph over adversity. And this was no different for Amy Lee, whose early life was marked with tragedy. In the late 1980s, when Amy was just 6 years old, tragedy struck. Her younger sister, Bonnie, a bright spark in the Lee family, passed away from an undisclosed illness at the age of 3, leaving the family dealing with an unbearable loss. For young Amy, the world had irrevocably changed. Bonnie's death profoundly impacted Amy. The innocence of her childhood was replaced by the harsh reality of death. The Lee household, once filled with laughter, now echoed with silence. Amy navigated through confusion and sorrow, trying to make sense of a loss she couldn't comprehend. She became acutely aware of life's fragility, a realization that later influenced her music. Sunny days, which should have brought joy, felt out of place with the darkness in her heart. Amy described these feelings in a later interview, saying, "I remember sometimes feeling really weird on beautiful sunny days when I was a kid because I felt like it should always be raining when I was grieving my sister." As Amy grew older, Bonnie's absence continued to loom large. Despite the family's resilience, the pain of loss was ever present. Amy turned to music for solace, using it to process her complex emotions. The piano became her confidant, and she channeled her inner turmoil through it. She began composing music, each note a step towards healing. These sad yet beautiful melodies reflected her experience of darkness intertwined with light, becoming the hallmark of Evanescence's unique sound. Amy's grief journey was supported by her family, allowing her to explore her emotions openly. This environment of understanding and love enabled her talent to flourish. As a teenager, themes of life, death, and the afterlife began surfacing in her work, resonating with listeners who had faced their own losses. To me, going through that, surviving that, being able to continue on and find a way to make your life make sense afterward, that's really what I'm talking about, the vocalist said. It's been said that the passage of time often brings healing, but for Amy Lee, it also brought a painful echo of the past. In 2018, over 3 decades after losing her sister Bonnie, Amy faced the heartbreak of losing another sibling. Her brother Robbie, who had battled severe epilepsy all his life, passed away, reigniting the grief Amy had known all too well. Robbie's struggle with epilepsy was a constant presence in the Lee family's life, marked by unpredictable seizures and numerous challenges. Amy's bond with Robbie was profound, and his death was a devastating blow. Having experienced loss at a young age, Robbie's passing was a harsh reminder of how fragile life can be. In the wake of Robbie's death, Amy turned to music as her refuge. Music had always been her outlet, a means to process and express the deepest parts of her heart. With Robbie's passing, her music took on an even more emotional depth, becoming a way to honor her brother's memory and work through her sorrow. Themes of loss and remembrance are palpable in Evanescence's 5th album, The Bitter Truth, released after Robbie's death. The album, a raw exploration of grief and resilience, resonated with fans worldwide. In the song Broken Pieces Shine, Amy wraps the lyrics with grief, singing, "I don't know if I'll be alright, but I have to try." When asked about the presence of her brother in the record, she says simply, "He's all over it. It changes you. It really does. When you lose someone that you love so much, it's not something that heals. It's not something you get over. It's a part of you now. You have to learn to live with the new you. A big part of who I am is being a big sister and having him in my life. That's just part of my identity. So to have to look at this big part of yourself and go, okay, that part of me is gone. Or is it gone? And what does that mean?" she explained when asked about the impact of Robbie's death on her life. Robbie's loss brought a renewed sense of purpose to Amy's work. Her music became a vehicle for connection, reaching out to others who had experienced similar losses. Through her songs, Amy created a space for collective mourning and healing, a community where the pain of loss could be shared and understood. Personal life and other projects. Amy Lee's journey to finding her soulmate, Josh Hartzler, began with a simple yet profound question. During an ordinary dinner, Hartzler, a friend and therapist, asked her, "So, are you happy?" This question struck a deep chord within Amy, making her realize truths about herself and inspiring Evanescence's breakthrough hit. It also set the stage for a future filled with genuine happiness. Their connection was undeniable. As Amy dealt with the complexities of fame, Hartzler was a stable force in her life. In 2007, they got married in an intimate ceremony at Amy's family home in Little Rock, Arkansas. Their bond grew even stronger with the birth of their son, Jack Lyon Hartzler, in 2014. Jack's arrival marked a new chapter for Amy, blending her intense music career with the tender moments of motherhood. Amy, who had once commanded millions on stage, now found her greatest joy in her child's eyes. Motherhood brought new creativity for Amy. In 2016, she created Dream Too Much, an album for children, including her son. This project was a family effort, with Amy working with her father and siblings to create a whimsical world of music, celebrating childhood innocence and imagination. As Jack grew, so did their creative bond. Amy often shares stories of their adventures, like making elaborate films for Jack's school projects or building a massive Lego Titanic together. These small moments are the foundation of a life rich in love and creativity. Despite her career demands, Amy always keeps her family as a priority. She approaches her music with the same balance, letting life inspire her art instead of forcing creativity. This thoughtful approach ensures that each project and song is filled with meaning and purpose. Known for her captivating voice and presence with Evanescence, Amy has had a hidden battle with anxiety and depression that many fans may not see. Despite her glowing stage persona, she has faced deep personal struggles. Her journey through anxiety and depression isn't just occasional sadness or fear, it's a persistent challenge. Losing her siblings was a defining moment, introducing her to grief's heavy burden. Life moved on for others. But for Amy, it felt like time stopped as she dealt with a profound loss. The death of her brother in 2018 reopened these old wounds, bringing back intense sorrow. This experience reminded her that past pain never fully disappears. Amy feared not the pain itself, but forgetting it and losing the connection to her lost loved ones. This fear drove her to face her struggles head-on. Music became Amy's refuge, a way to express her deepest emotions and turn her pain into something powerful. Hits like My Immortal and Bring Me to Life were reflections of her battles with anxiety and depression. Themes of darkness and light frequently appear in Amy's music. She does not shy away from exploring the depths of her despair, for she knows that it is only by facing the darkness that one can truly appreciate the light. Her lyrics often reflect a duality, a dance between hope and hopelessness, strength and fragility. It is her honest portrayal of mental health struggles that has endeared her to millions who find solace in her words. Amy has shared how songwriting and performing are therapeutic for her. Being on stage helps her process and release her pain. Connection between Lee's personal battles and her music is undeniable. Each album, each song is a chapter in her ongoing story of resilience. In songs like Lost in Paradise and Imperfection, she sings about isolation, despair, and the longing for something more. These are not just expressions of her own pain, but are invitations for others to acknowledge their own battles and find solace in the shared human experience. In her latest album, The Bitter Truth, Amy continues to share her life story, blending the bitterness of her experiences with moments of beauty. It's an unfiltered glimpse into the heart of an artist using her music to shine a light on mental health, encouraging others to find their way through the darkness and showing that even broken pieces can shine. Amy's connections with her fans goes beyond borders, languages, and cultures, with a particularly fervent following in Italy. Her recollections of early interactions with Italian fans paint a picture of raw emotion and mutual admiration. Pressed against barricades, their voices calling out, the fans in Italy were among the first to embrace the haunting melodies of Evanescence. This powerful bond has only strengthened over time, culminating in a highly anticipated return to Milan on June 12th, a testament to the enduring love affair between Amy and her Italian admirers. For Amy, performing on stage is more than just entertaining. It's about sharing experiences and connecting with her audience on a deep emotional level. She finds magic in live performances, where artists and audiences connect, transcending language and culture. This connection fuels her passion for music, driving her to continue performing and creating. However, balancing a career in music with being a mother isn't easy. Amy often talks about the challenges of touring while ensuring stability for her son, Jack. Her husband's support and Jack's adventurous spirit make it possible, but Amy strives to remain present in her son's life, juggling her professional and personal responsibilities with grace. The evolution of women in rock is a narrative close to Amy's heart. Reflecting on her experiences at the 2003 Download Festival, she recalls the isolation of being the sole female presence in a sea of male counterparts. Yet this isolation industry, a path marked by determination and the courage to be different. Today, the landscape has shifted, with a growing sisterhood of female rockers supporting one another, celebrating their diversity, and changing the face of a once male-dominated scene. Amy Lee's artistic journey is about self-discovery and growth. With Evanescence Evanescence, she has crafted a sound that is both hauntingly beautiful and fiercely powerful. Her approach to music making is refreshingly authentic, rooted in a desire to capture pure, unadulterated emotion. It's this dedication to genuine expression that has allowed Amy and Evanescence to remain relevant in an ever-changing musical landscape. The creative process for Amy is not about conforming to past successes or adhering to a predefined formula. Instead, it's about the thrill of creation, the spark of innovation that comes from trying something new, whether it's learning to play new instruments to inspire fresh melodies or embracing different lyrical themes. Amy's artistic journey is one of constant reinvention. In an interview with Metal Hammer, she voiced her thoughts on wanting to work on a score for a documentary. She said, "You know what would be really cool? I've always thought it would be fun to be a part of creating the score to a great nature documentary, like Planet Earth, one of those amazing David Attenborough ones, underwater particularly. Every time I watch something like that, I think, God, it'd be fun to work on the score for that." This commitment to evolution has sparked rumors and speculation, particularly regarding the possibility of Amy stepping into the role of Linkin Park's new vocalist. The rumor mill went into overdrive when Orgy's Jay Gordon hinted at Linkin Park's continuation with a female singer. Fans and media alike began connecting dots, with many seeing Amy as the perfect fit to carry on the legacy of the late Chester Bennington. However, Amy has addressed these whispers head-on, expressing her flattery at being considered but firmly denying any involvement with Linkin Park, while also making it clear that she's open to considering it.
Well, did we play shows? I don't know if we were on a festival together or whatever. We were in the studio at the same time when we were making Fall, and I just briefly got to have a conversation or two with Chester, who was really sweet. But no, it's not true. But that's awesome. They should ask me about that. I don't have a ton of free time, but I might go in part-time.
Evanescence's plans for 2024 testify to their enduring presence in the rock world. With a tour schedule that includes festivals across the US and abroad, as well as a co-headlining Canadian tour with Hailstorm, the band is as active as ever. But it's not just about live shows. Amy has hinted at the band's desire to create new music, to begin the next chapter in their storied career. The excitement for what lies ahead is palpable, both within the band and among their devoted fan base. As Evanescence looks to the future, Amy envisions a narrative that continues to unfold in unexpected and thrilling ways. She sees the band not just as a vehicle for her voice, but as a collaborative entity that thrives on each member's contributions. With plans to write and record in the gaps between shows, Amy is setting the stage for Evanescence to enter a new era, one that promises to be as compelling as the last. With new music on the horizon and a tour schedule that keeps her connected to the fans who adore her, Amy Lee's journey is far from over. It's a journey marked by the harmony of a life well lived and a legacy that will continue to resonate through the periods of rock history. Amy Lee's legacy will continue to resonate, marking a life filled with harmony and a lasting impact on rock history. Did you enjoy this video? Click on any of the cards on your screen right now for similar content. Thank you.